Hi, crafty friends. I'm Tina, the creative guru with Gemless Paper Scissors. And today we are installing week 7 of the 52 weeks of 2026 projects. And in this particular layout on the left-hand side, I ended up adding a QR code to link to some video from my trail. And on the right-hand side, I have added several flip-flops. And these are all going to be added a little different this time. Um, so let's get to it. I already have some spine extenders on my album, and I am going to tap that on in, slide this into my page protector, and if you see, this pole has little indents. Let's pull this out a little bit. As you can see, it indents, and I want to mark those indents instead of all the way to the edge because it will make it harder for my pull tab to get accidentally absorbed into my page protector. So I've got my straight edge, I have my pokey stick, and I'm just going to carefully tap under and behind where I want that. I'm going to scooch it back over to make sure, just like so. We're going to do the same on the other side, down and behind. And you notice how when I do this, I kind of use that dental tool to make it a little thicker of an opening there. Okay, now I am going to grab my self-healing mat. I just use a Cricut mat from my Cricut Joy. I do not have a full-size Cricut. I do not have the space, and the items that I cut with it don't necessitate me going to the bigger size. If you are the crafter that makes bigger things, likes having the maker to do things like wraps for mugs, that's awesome. I wish I was that person, but honestly, that just doesn't fit my life. Okay, so I have now cut this. I'm going to go ahead and make sure it went all the way through. And then I am going to cap off my craft knife, pull out, and now this is nice and secure. You can see that it's supposed to slide in and out, but it's got this little bumper to make sure it is not getting absorbed into the layout. And so there is my left-hand side. Now let's go ahead and move on to my right-hand side. Here's a new page protector. I like the top load versus the side load. And I am not actually cutting this layout at all. And I still need to journal it. So let me pause this long enough to do that because you don't need to watch me write. Okay, I've done my little journaling. I've added the date. Now I know that this is going to go in, so it's like that. Here's the spine. I am sliding this in, and again, I am not actually adding any flip-flops on the inside, so I'm not cutting anything. What I am going to do is I am going to create kind of a waterfall effect. So I've got this photo flip-flop, and we're going to tuck that in a little. And you're going to see how they overlap on the bottom and that will help showcase where each one is. So we're going to start with the bottom, lifting up the adhesive cover, and then folding down the next one in the lineup. And again, we're going to slide this one down. You see how I'm having just this little bit of a lip? That's what we're going to continue. And we're going to slide that right down, like so. And peel off this adhesive protection. And I'm actually going to add just a little extra. Some of these are getting a little older, and so they aren't quite as sticky as, and I think I ended up popping a few of them open in storage. Because these are my leftover close to my heart ones, and they aren't quite as umami sticky as the new Stampin' Up! Ones. So we've got that all lined up, and we're going to just double check all of our rows to make sure they're all exactly how I want them. It's a little fiddly, fussy, pick your words. And I'm going to have that start right here. And then fold this down and attach it, just like so. I got a little bit of adhesive on my fingers, so promptly trim that off because it is latex based, and I do have a sensitivity, but it's not a full-blown allergy. So as long as it doesn't stay there, I am not likely to get a skin response. So when it's fully dry, you're going to be able to see it dries clear. And you notice how I set the seam so it lined up evenly with the side picture. I have my wonderful tabs there. And as you see, it's already drying clear. So it's not going to adversely affect any of my viewing. Just like so. And there you have it. I am now going to add it into the actual album, since that is part of what we do. And so just spin off my little post covers. Some people prefer the D-ring albums. Honestly, they're really easy, but I am not that person. I like the posts. I like how it makes my album about an inch narrower, so it fits better on my shelves. I like knowing that my grandchildren are not, I'm going to add another post extender while I'm in here. My grandchildren, if they're flipping through, are not going to pop open those rings and let loose all of my work. I like that I can easily add post extenders to make a larger album, so I'm not trapped at 2 inches or 3 inches. I can make it, I wouldn't go above like 4 or 5 inches. I do have one that's about that thick, and it is hefty. But I can keep making these posts bigger, and I will explain that when I get there. This is just utilizing the posts that came with it. So here we go, lovelies. I'm going to lift that up. And here is our double waterfall styled layout. And until next time, keep on crafting. I hope this inspired you, and find your joy.